Close your eyes for a moment and listen, not to the world outside, but to the world within. There is a war happening inside you, a war most people will never recognize, never prepare for, and never survive. It has no loud explosions, no marching armies, no banners waving in the sky. This war is silent, hidden, psychological, a battle fought in the shadows of your own mind. And yet, this war is more dangerous than any battlefield history has ever known. Because the enemy you're fighting knows every weakness you have. It knows your fears, your impulses, your doubts, your deepest vulnerabilities. It knows exactly how to break you, because it is you. Every morning, the moment your eyes open, the battle begins. You wake up, and instantly the enemy attacks. A negative thought, a feeling of heaviness, a wave of anxiety, a desire to stay in bed, a whisper telling you, "Not today." This is the battlefield the Stoics trained for, not the chaos around them, but the storm inside them. Most people spend their lives losing these daily battles. They let their emotions drag them into war they cannot win. They let fear decide their future. They let anger control their actions. They let doubt bury their potential. But the Stoics understood a secret that transformed them into soldiers of the mind. The real battles are not fought in the world. They are fought in the mind, long before action begins. Marcus Aurelius commanded an empire, led armies, and faced threats that would terrify most men. But his greatest writings were not about war. They were about overcoming himself. He wrote to remind himself to stay disciplined when his mind grew weak. He wrote to silence the anger that tried to rise inside him. He wrote to control the fears every leader carries. He wrote because he understood. If he lost the inner battle, the outer world would collapse. Epictetus, once a slave, taught his students that the chains that hurt you the most are not on your hands. They're on your thoughts, your expectations, your reactions, your lack of control. And Seneca warned that the mind creates more suffering than life ever will. Not because life is cruel, but because the undisciplined mind exaggerates pain and multiplies fear. This is why you must train like a Stoic warrior, not to fight others, not to prove your strength, but to master the one enemy that defeats billions of people every single day. The enemy within, every distraction you choose, every temptation you surrender to, every emotion you obey without thinking. These are battles lost, but every time you stay calm when chaos calls your name, every time you act instead of overthink, every time you remain disciplined when comfort tempts you, you win slowly, silently, powerfully, and eventually, you don't just win battles, you win the war. Because the Stoic warrior is not the strongest man, he is not the loudest. He is not the one who intimidates others. He is the one who conquers himself, and therefore becomes unconquerable. A warrior's body can be strong, but a warrior's mind must be stronger. Every Stoic understood this. They knew muscles can break, weapons can fail, armor can shatter, but a disciplined mind, a mind trained against fear, anger, and weakness, becomes indestructible. Most people train the wrong thing. They build their appearance, their social image, their pride. But inside, they are fragile, easily shaken by words, by setbacks, by the slightest discomfort. The Stoics rejected this weakness. They trained themselves in the one arena that matters most, the mind. Seneca practiced discomfort not because he enjoyed suffering, but because he knew luxury creates dependence. He slept on hard surfaces, reduced his meals, and walked through life prepared for loss, so that nothing the world took away could break him. Epictetus faced cruelty, slavery, and pain, but he trained himself to say, "You may harm my body, but my mind is mine." And Marcus Aurelius, with the weight of an empire on his shoulders, forced himself to return again and again to silence, to remind himself that power without clarity is simply another form of weakness. This was their method: to harden the mind through intentional difficulty, to seek challenges rather than avoid them, to use every moment of discomfort as sharpening stone for the soul. They didn't fear pain, they welcomed it as a teacher. They didn't run from adversity, they used it as training. Because the Stoics understood a truth most people ignore. If you don't train your mind to withstand pressure, you'll break the moment life becomes difficult. So the Stoic warrior trains daily, not to kill emotion, but to control it. Not to avoid struggle, but to endure it. He hardens the mind. He strengthens the will. He becomes the commander of his own inner world. And when the mind becomes unshakable, the man becomes unstoppable. Most people think warriors are forged in fire, steel, and sweat. But the Stoics knew the truth. The real battlefield is inside your own mind. Your emotions, your impulses, your fears. These are the enemies that can ambush you when you least expect it. And the Stoic warrior trains for this internal war every single day. Ask yourself a simple question. How many decisions in your life were made out of fear, anger, or desperation? How many moments of weakness shaped outcomes that should have been victories? The Stoics believed that a person who loses control of their emotions loses control of their entire life. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the mind is stronger than any external blow, but only if you train it. Without discipline, your emotions become wild horses dragging you across a cliff. With discipline, they become a warhorse, powerful, but under your command. The Stoic warrior doesn't eliminate emotion. He masters it. He feels fear but refuses to kneel before it. He feels anger but refuses to let it speak for him. He feels pain but refuses to be owned by it. This emotional training begins with a hard truth. Most of your suffering is created by your own interpretation. It's not the insult that hurts. It's the meaning you attach to it. It's not the failure that crushes you. It's the story you create about yourself afterward. It's not the challenge that breaks you. It's your belief that you're not strong enough to face it. The Stoic warrior rewrites that story. Instead of saying, "This is too much," he says, "Let's see what I'm capable of." Instead of saying, "I can't handle this," he says, "This is my training." Instead of running from stress, he uses it as resistance. Like a weight that builds his inner strength, every emotional hit becomes an opportunity to forge a stronger mind. So when chaos hits, the Stoic warrior does not panic. He inhales deeply. He slows down the storm. He remembers. The enemy is not the world. The enemy is the untrained reaction. And once you master your emotions, something terrifying happens. Your opponents can't predict you, manipulate you, or break you anymore. You become calm, dangerous, and unshakably powerful. Because a warrior who controls himself is a warrior who controls everything. Every warrior has a code, a set of principles that guide him when the world becomes chaotic, when emotions rise, and when the battlefield turns unpredictable. The Stoics developed a code far deadlier than any weapon, a mental discipline that made them calm in danger, sharp under pressure, and unshakable when everyone else was collapsing. The Stoic warrior's code begins with a command. Focus only on what you can control. Most people waste their energy on things they cannot change. Other people's opinions, the past, the future, the unpredictable. They drain their strength on battles that can never be won. But the Stoic warrior is different. He knows that his power grows when he narrows his focus. His energy becomes like a blade, precise, concentrated, unstoppable. The second pillar of the code is daily discipline, not occasional effort. The Stoic warrior trains his mind the way a soldier trains his body, every day, without excuses. He rewires his habits, strengthens his thoughts, and sharpens his reactions. Discipline is not punishment, it is armor. Each morning he wakes with a purpose. Each night he reviews his actions. And in between those hours, he lives with intention, not impulse. The third principle is ruthless honesty with oneself. The Stoics believed that self-deception is one of the greatest weaknesses a human can have. If you lie to yourself about your flaws, someone else will use those flaws to destroy you. So the Stoic warrior studies his own mind like a strategist studying the enemy. What triggers him? What weaknesses can be strengthened? What fears can be confronted? This honesty is painful, but it creates an inner strength few can match. The final part of the code is something most people misunderstand. Calmness is not softness. It is strength harnessed. A calm warrior is not empty. He is controlled. He is not emotionless. He is focused. Calmness allows him to see what others miss. While people panic, he plans. While others react, he responds. While others crumble, he becomes the anchor everyone looks to. When all four parts of this code merge, control, discipline, honesty, and calm, the Stoic warrior becomes something rare. A person the world cannot intimidate. A mind the world cannot shake. A force that grows stronger in chaos, not weaker. This is the code that builds power. This is the code that creates warriors. This is the Stoic way.